Cheide.
In this 3-minute rules, we will be looking at the combat phase, and in particular, pursuit special rules. All of this can be found on page 58 of the large 8th edition rulebook. Pursuit into an obstruction. Unlike fleeing troops, pursuers maintain some manner of order and formation. Therefore, if the pursuit move would take the pursuers into contact with or through a friendly unit or area of impassable terrain, they automatically halt 1 inch away. For this example, let's say that the High Elves are now fleeing through this dangerous terrain, this rock outcropping, impassable terrain. They will have to take dangerous terrain tests as they flee through it. However, the dwarves, if they have sufficient amount of movement, will stop 1 inch away from it. Pursuit into a new enemy. If a pursuit move would take the pursuer into contact with an enemy unit, then the pursuers must charge the enemy unit. So once again with this example, the High Elves are fleeing past their general, and the dwarves will be pursuing, and they have enough distance to actually come into contact with the general, so they will have to charge the general. Several quick points about this move. You noticed how when the dwarves charged into the new enemy, they in fact had to make a wheel movement and go directly into that enemy unit, maximizing their ranks. Let us show you how that looked again. In this case, the charged unit, the General on Griffin, is taken by surprise by this impromptu assault, and it is not allowed to take any charge reactions and must hold. Were this enemy unit, the General on Griffin, already engaged in close combat, and that fight has not been resolved for this turn, then the pursuing unit will get to fight another round of close combat. Were the dwarves to win this combat, they however would not be able to continue to pursue this turn. They have already run enough and they are tired. Were the unit charged, this Prince on Griffin, already in combat and combat has already been resolved, then the dwarves must wait until the next combat phase in order to fight. One benefit of this, however, is that in the following turn's combat phase, the pursuers, the dwarves, will still count as charging and therefore get the charging bonus. In the case that this would lead to charging on both sides, simply count the charge benefits like normal. In some cases, the pursuers might even run into fleeing foes. In this case, we'll say that the Prince on Griffin is already fleeing. In this case, the Prince on Griffin cannot take any charge reactions, move the pursuers into contact with this unit as you would for a unit completing a charge against a fleeing unit. And this unit is then immediately destroyed, and the pursuing unit is allowed one final reform. And with that, we come to the conclusion of this 3-minute rules on Pursuit Special Rules. Well, thank you for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming for the future of fantasy.